Welcome back to X3 Terran Conflict, and we're currently jumping out to handle a potential disaster.
Entering system, Liana's hideout.
Remember how I told you out-of-sector combat works? Well, we had a P right in his path, but because I jumped right in sector at the right moment, out-of-sector combat did not occur, and instead it worked with realistic combat. In the meantime, I'm going to save this guy from the Xenon that's flying drunk. Good lord. Now this guy cannot bail, so there's no point in capturing him. He's a Corvette like me.
Senator, the Argon Federation thank you for your help with this invader. As a reward, you get 5,000 credits.
Well, now that disaster's averted, we can go back to the previously mentioned plan.
Cargo bay closed.
Actually, first, we are going to refuel.
Dock jump device charging at 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90. Jumping. Autopilot activated. Entering system, circle of labor.
And as you can see, I downed the 3 fighter drones already. Wow. They certainly don't last very long in those heavy combats, but it's better them take the missiles than me.
A typical Argon.
But I'm already looking for more. Oh well. I can off-screen that sometime. I'll probably want to start carrying around 30 or so of them. But as I think I mentioned before, do not use them when dealing with CAC. The CAC will actually blow them up pretty easily.
Incoming message.
And my Jaguar's there, waiting for us to get there.
Incoming message.
Dolphin's there, and it should be full of fuel again. So we're going to order it to dock, since we're not flying it and it's going to get there eventually. Dock here, that's a lot closer.
Command accepted.
I'm going to cut the video until I get to the orbital descent station and get into the Jaguar. Okay, here we go. Now we're in the Jaguar. The sectors we're looking to explore is there's a number of sectors off here, 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 and here. Basically, everything above the asteroid belt will have other sectors with it. So we're going to explore them, then we're going to decide which one would be good, the best place for a sector trader. Sector trader is a Mark III software trader that has yet to achieve a level where you can leave the sector he's in. I believe they have to be level 8 in order to become universal traders, but this one I plan on leaving a sector trader for a long time.
Entering system, asteroid belt.
And you will quickly find that these sectors seem so much smaller in this ship. Although I couldn't find any impulse ray emitters for it to
This ship is the successful
install.
replacement.
Oh, it can use particle accelerator cannons too. That's interesting, I didn't know that. I guess it's the Discoverer maybe that can only install impulse ray emitters. Now, just know that when you're flying through gates and stuff and you're in a small ship, you generally want to stick to outer rings. The inner rings tend to have larger ships coming through. What I did there was not a very bright maneuver, but most of the time you won't encounter a big ship anyway. Especially if you don't see the lights lighting up like that. The direction the lights flash tell you which direction the ships are planning on coming through. Like there's a ship entering now. So just look around for it. If you see them coming towards you, that's when you gotta watch out for ships heading your way.
Entering system Jupiter 2.
And this is Jupiter 2. So let's do a little fly around. It's a lot closer to Jupiter than the last one. You can see the spinning belts of gases. A Mark III, a triplex scanner is almost mandatory for flying around Terran space. And also note that there are 4 kinds of giant asteroids as far as minerals are concerned. The 4th kind is special, and it only appears in Terran space, and it's a ice asteroid. Don't ask me why you don't find ice anywhere but Terran space.
Entering system Jupiter 3.
Now you see we've gone from Jupiter 1 through 3. We've got 3 sectors past there. Now we look around here to map all the stations. Before we move on to the universe. Jupiter 3 is a lot further out from Jupiter, but you can see the whole planet here. Sorry, just enjoying the view.
Entering system
Do you remember how slow it felt like I was going in the very first ship that moved 275? This hardly feels slow at all. Hell, these sectors feel small. Now, if you'll notice, the gate is turned cockeyed to the whole area. It's because the sectors are somewhere over on that side of Jupiter, despite their physical location on the map. Do not consider the physical locations of every sector on the map to be precisely where they are in regard to each other. The map is not portrayed to be to scale in it by any means. And if you notice, I almost hit the gate going through. Be careful of that, because you can actually blow up. Now, there should be 2 gates off of here that I haven't explored yet. Hell, I have barely explored this sector because of its size. There's 1 gate there and 1 gate there. We'll go through this one first because we're going to be coming back through and then go north. Save ourselves some time. If you notice, Terran ships tend to be reminiscent of fighter jets, despite the lack of air to drag the ships for air to give aerodynamic reasons. But you know, it looks nice. I mean, you can build your ship into a box, but it's not going to be looking pretty. Now, I'm going to assume that most of the Terran stations actually do rotate because they're all built on rings and round sections, but they don't visibly rotate. I'm thinking that they couldn't animate the model of the station, but I might be wrong. No, that's not true. The Argon trading docks do rotate. So I don't know why they didn't bother making those rotate. Probably because they're so big already that it would take up too much memory. But maybe in the next version we'll see some more rotating stations for gravity effect. Now, I didn't know there was actually 3 sectors over this way. Isn't that a pretty picture of Saturn? I bet you there's a lot of ice in these asteroids. Although, I don't think you can actually fly through the accredation disk around it. I could be wrong. Maybe someone in an era will prove it to me.
Entering system. Saturn.
But we're a lot closer to it here. So if any sector it's possible, it'd be this one. It would be interesting to see what would happen if it just gives you the warning you are entering the atmosphere, or if it actually has just like a mist effect or something. Maybe I'll try it out later on CETA 1000 for an hour or so to get over there, because they are really that far away.
Entering system. Saturn.
And that there, I believe, is that's Uranus over there. Okay, I know I saw North Gate over here. So this is called Saturn, but it's really between Saturn and Uranus. And no, the sectors do not actually orbit with the planets. The planets don't orbit each other in this game. That would just be crazy talk for a programming engine of this age. This thing's like 10 years old. The engine's already 10 years old. But it would have been cool if it did.
Entering system.
Oh my!
Titan.
That is one reason you do not come through the middle. Getting greeted with that. I probably should have been paying attention to the lights rather than talking so much. Because I bet you the lights told me that there was something coming. Oh no, this isn't Neptune. This was Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Why we get Titan and not Io or any of the other moons from Jupiter? I don't know, but they chose Titan. I would think that Io would contain some pretty good resources too. So, pretty much we're just flying around, enjoying the view while making sure to adequately map the sectors. If you don't have a station on your map, your sector trader isn't going to know it's there.
Entering
Even if you might be able to see it from where he is. That's a shipyard, and I didn't even have that on my map prior. Wow. So I guess now we're off to Uranus.
Entering system. Uranus.
See, this is what I think an accredation disk would look like when you're flying through it. But we're not really flying through it, are we? Well, I guess they're trying to give you the impression that you're close to it. That's right, Uranus is blue. Blue-green, that is. And now we go through to Uranus 2, I believe.
Entering system. Uranus 2.
Yep. Where is Uranus from here? Oh, it's there. It's a top view of Uranus. I guarantee that these models were all built off of pictures from satellites that have passed out. Not satellites, but probes that we've sent out. But still, being able to fly around in the game and looking at them from inside the game is nice. Now, if they could just build it into a full 3D model of the place, that'd be great. I wonder what's in that green cap. Ammonia? Yeah, the lights are going in, so it's safe to enter.
Entering system. Uranus.
Now, there's a south gate out of here, too. That's west, south is all the way over here. And I don't think this is Uranus 3. But I could be wrong. It's been a while.
Entering system. Uranus 3.
Well, I guess I was wrong. And we are still getting the accredation disk effect all the way out here from the dark side of Uranus. I don't know why we're getting this dusty effect this far away. But it is true, Uranus does have rings like Saturn. In fact, many planets do. Earth actually has some to a very, very limited extent. Unfortunately, it doesn't have enough gravity to hold much of a ring at all. But it does have a couple rocks up there that you could call a ring. Hardly anything worth mentioning, though. And once again, I went through the middle. I never learn.
Entering system. Neptune.
Okay. Neptune. I do not think Neptune has any special gates here. But I was wrong with Uranus. But that's what Neptune looks like. Back when they were naming the gods, they thought it looked like it was made out of water. Oh, they were wrong. It's really a big ball of toxic gas. With little to no surface to speak of. And, you know, the Commonwealth races' solar power plants look like big discs? That's what theirs look like, the Terrans. It'd be nice to see that every race gets their own unique stations in the next game. Instead of those generic-looking things they use here. But I guess this was a ship combat game rather than a station-building game at the very core.
Entering system. Pluto.
Well, there's a sector off of Pluto. Who wants to bet that's Charon? Pluto's moon, which is almost the sister dwarf planet. If you want to bet it's Charon, you're probably wrong. I don't think they put that in this game. When discoveries of 10th planet first arose, before the new ones, and you know they've had several times where they thought there was another planet. The first one was discovered to actually be a moon around Pluto, loosely orbiting.
Entering system. Kuiper belt.
Nope. It's just a belt of asteroids. And there's not a lot here, other than a patrol base. And a bunch of asteroids. You know, I'm a little shocked that I don't see any, there we go. I was gonna say I'm a little shocked I don't see any mines. I'm pretty sure that, this place usually has, like, 4 or 5. But, the game engine that they call the God engine that determines what happens everywhere, I guess it decided that this place didn't really need so many mines at the moment, so it removed them. That's what it does. It plays God. And it's telling me it's safe to enter. And next on the Oort Cloud. The Oort Cloud is a cloud of rock, just past Pluto. Oh, there's Karen. Right there. It's a long ways off, because like I said, it very loosely orbits Pluto. Pluto doesn't have much gravity to speak of. It's a shame it got reclassified as a dwarf planet. So many asteroids on the other side of this gate, too. Might have to scan them to see if there's anything worthwhile.
Oort Cloud.
One of the big problems with sending probes out to explore the universe has been the fact that getting past the Oort Cloud requires them to have extra fuel just to be able to maneuver and dodge the rocks. Luckily, I think that they're now using hydrogen collectors, which collect free-floating hydrogen from space to use as fuel whenever it's needed. But in the first couple, from what I understand, may have been knocked off course by a rock here and there. And few of these are large enough to actually be considered real asteroids. They have to be beyond a certain size. There's more around there, and I'll get them when I pass through again. This is like the perfect ship to stick mineral scanner on and Explorer Command software.
Unknown sector.
So you could just tell it to go to a sector and check which asteroids have stuff. And once again, we're in a generic unknown sector. It's unknown because no one's bothered to name it yet. What the heck? There's a pirate base out here. I did not know they could spawn in Terran space. And this is the Terran border sector. Well, this pirate base is yet to be marked as hostile to me, so obviously I haven't killed any of its pirates yet. Every time you kill a pirate, the base which spawned it has a chance to go hostile. At which point the pirates that come out of the base will actively hunt you or your ships down. But don't worry, there aren't many sectors left.
Unknown sector.
Once again, another generic unknown sector. There's a lot of these right at the end of Terran space. I believe that the first gate that was destroyed was linked outside of Pluto in one of these sectors, which is why the Terrans have a presence here. This was their link to the rest of the Commonwealth before they destroyed it. Look at that bomber there. Just so you know, the bombers are actually almost as big as the corvettes like I'm flying. But they're considered a fighter for as far as classification purposes.
Unknown sector.
And another unknown sector. That's a trio in a row. Only in Terran space. There's another station. What are you mining? Ore. Usually they tell you what they're mining from the name. And as you see, another gate. Who wants to bet it's another unknown sector?
Entering system. Unknown sector.
Oh, wow. Surprise, surprise. A 4-pack. And this station right here, this one is special. You saw how I got here.
Military, this station is used as a command and coordination center for nearby fleet activities. It can
This
also
one
be
has
used
a
as
lot of different
remote
kinds of
training
software on it.
center.
Unfortunately, it does not have the Trade 3 software, otherwise it would come here. But it does have matter antimatter launchers and EMPCs for when they'll let me buy them. For now, we're just exploring. This is the secret military base, and it often contains useless things. Actually,
This station is used as a command and
do they have fighter
coordination
drones?
center for nearby fleet activities.
They do not have
It
fighter
can
drones.
also be used as a remote
You may have seen on some of the previous episodes something called a Karis drone. It is actually the same exact thing as a fighter drone Mark II. And while the Mark II might suggest that this is better, well, it has 2 guns, but it moves a lot slower and tends to die a lot faster. So just giving you a heads up on that one. So now we've seen all of Terran space except for one sector, Earth. And we're not going to see that anytime soon, so now to decide where to place a station. Where to place a sector trader. Okay, what we're going to want is a sector with a number of factories that all trade with each other, supply each other. Not ones with just like 1 or 2. Also know that these logistic docks often get supplied with resources that the nearby stations need as well.
This production facility
This one needs MREs
manufactures the
and
electromagnetic
ore. We won't even worry about the energy cells because those are so cheap, it level them real slow.
This food preparation facility
Protein
is
paste and
where
carbo
key-
cakes,
This
and it
food-
makes sea rations. This one
produc-
needed MREs,
This production
more
facility
MREs,
manufactures
and ore.
water in the form of
Okay. This doesn't look like a very great place, so let's move on to the next one. We already saw there's only one there.
matter and
Sea
antimatter
rations.
mining
If we could only get the sea rations from the nearby sector, this would be great.
solar power plant. The USC food supply
This one makes MREs,
factory
which the
is
nearby
where
sector would
all of
probably
the
want.
ingredients for the
Why put it here, I don't know.
water in
But
the USC
MREs
food
require protein paste and water, whereas
this food
sea rations require
preparation
protein paste and
facility-
carbo cakes. Just keep that in mind. We got water, power, and not much else. Nothing to provide the power, too. Here we got some ice, and water purification. But that's really limited. We got 3 ice,
the USC
and another
food
MRE
supply-
place,
This food preparation
but we don't have a place to get the water. Otherwise, that'd be a keeper. Saturn is just not a whole lot there. Not a whole lot there either.
the USC
We can provide water to here, but we'd be constantly running out of ice. And I didn't find an orbital logistics dock here. I'm pretty sure there is one. Here we got 2 water purification
the
plants.
USC
This requires water from it, and we got ice, so we can
this food
keep running around. But we don't have another orbital logistics dock to help out. None here. What is with this no orbital
This
logistic
food
docks?
preparation facility is where key ingredients are blended and processed into an array of highly nutritious food blocks which make up the
Okay, we got.
this
Okay,
this facility produces
this one
the
requires sea
spectrums.
rations and water. But we don't have water here. So far, this one looks like the best if it had an orbital logistics dock. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm gonna have to run over there and check again. I'm gonna off-screen my flight over there. Well, there we have it. There isn't any logistic docks in these sectors. I always thought that those docks were off limits for the God Engine to delete if they're not being used. But obviously I was wrong. Well, this sector still looks like the best one for it. We got the ice is constantly full, so we can get it for a cheap price and just constantly sell it to the 2 water purification plants. Then when they fill up, we can sell it to the food supply factory for a cheap price. And then later on, once it can go to multiple sectors, we'll then put it in Jupiter 2, so it can get to this. There's a logistic dock in orbit Jupiter 2, I know there is. But it can go to Jupiter 2 to that logistics dock and grab some stuff there. It can supply food to the Spectre missile fab here. Requires sea rations, water, which we also have here. And then it can also supply food out here. Requires MREs, sea rations, and water. But this is where we're going to set it. To set up a sector trader, we're going to go to our... Where is Dolphin? We're going to give it an order to trade. Start sector trader, then we can tell it the sector. We want Jupiter 3.
Command accepted.
It's going to fly all the way out here. I'll off-screen while it flies here. And now that he's here...
Transorbital accelerator. Jupiter
I missed
2.
him. Now that he's here, our sector trader is going to start the sector trader software. Let's see that while it decides what it's going to do first. Now, it's currently on standby. I'm assuming that it checked the wares and it didn't find a good ware, ware at a good price.
Water in the form of ice is hard.
The way the beginning level 1 sector trader works is it looks for a ware that it could sell in the sector and sees if it can buy it at a price that's below average and sell it at a price that's above average. Now, the problem is it doesn't check before it sells to determine if the price may have changed, so it can lose you money as well as gain you money. Over time, as it gains levels up to level 30, it becomes better at trading and more reactive to dangers. But for now, it looks like he's just gonna sit here and... Let's see if I can kick him and get him to start working again. But I don't think there's doesn't have any wares in this sector, which it really needs at the moment. You just leave it, and eventually it'll start working. But you see, as you at the top, you can see it's level 1, Assistant Courier Kayin. I don't even know how to pronounce that. P-O-K-K-A-Y-E-A-N. Let's put that in his name so I can distinguish between them. Huh? I think that's how you spelled it? Yes, that is. Okay. So that's my first sector trader, just sitting there in sector, waiting for a deal. Normally he'll sit at the station rather than in harm's way. But in the meantime, he should be good for now. It's far away from the 2 pirate bases that I found. I found another one off camera, on the other side of the solar system. I don't know why the Terrans are letting pirates in their sector. But that's enough for this episode. I'm going to go and try to find some of these logistics bases that I know exist. Okay, but I'll see you.